Hey there, I had to come back on after the debacle that happened in the Oval Office today where President Fellon was acting like Vladimir Putin's ambassador and J.D. Vance was acting like Vladimir Putin's ambassador. It is shockingly un-American and treasonous the way Trump is publicly. It is beyond comprehension. And I am on here because I want people to show up in the streets on March 4th. There is a 50-51 protest going all around the country again on March 4th at noon. And I found out why they did that. I think that's the day of the, the State of the Union. And so it's the day to protest Trump on that day, get millions of people out in the street. And I hope that however many people can get out on the streets on March 4th, you can get out on the streets. I know it's a pain in the neck. We keep asking people to take up to the streets and people are going, does it really work? It doesn't work if you only do it once. Let's just put it to you that way. We've got to take to the streets repeatedly. Dr. Benjamin Dixon said that you have, in order to really affect change, the way they did this in the civil rights movement was with the 3 Ps: pray for divine invention, protest in the streets, and petition your elected officials. And I'm doing all 3. And so please join us on March 4th at your state capitol, in whatever state that you're in. And if you're having one, like I know in Eugene, Oregon, we're in Salem, Oregon. Salem happens to be our capital, but I know Eugene, Oregon is having a protest down there too. Please make this protest stronger. We have got to get the Republicans to start acting like Americans. It is outrageous. I called Senator Thune's office. He's the leader of the Senate these days. And after that embarrassing White House event where they virtually kicked Vladimir Zelensky out of the White House and threatened World War III to the world if he doesn't lay down and give up Ukraine to Putin, it's insanely un-American. Like, America is now siding with North Korea and with Vladimir Putin, like the land of the free, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What happened to that, Republicans? Like, their devotion to the oligarchy is literally un-American. How base is that? I don't know about you guys, but for me, there's not enough money in the world that would convince me to betray our country and our Constitution. And that is what it should be for our president and for the vice president. And instead, they make a public display of bullying a man fighting to liberate his country. And the talking points that Russia didn't start the war. Like, Trump even yesterday was asked by reporters, what do you think? You call him a dictator, Zelensky a dictator. He's like, oh, did I call him that? Next question. Talk about not taking responsibility. I called my elected officials, John Thune and Barrasso, because Barrasso was one of the 6 senators who went to Russia on July 4th, 2018. And I demanded of them to start acting like Americans. And I called Mike Johnson's office too, the Speaker of the House, and said, enough is enough. Start impeachment hearings. We need to impeach J.D. Vance and we need to impeach Donald Trump. They are traitors to America. They literally sat in the White House and acted like Vladimir Putin's ambassadors. It was incomprehensible. He didn't bully. He didn't prove the point. He just got mad because Vladimir Zelensky said, yeah, well, you're going to get hurt too when Russia starts betraying you guys. Because Russia does betray everyone, just like Donald Trump. That's why Vlad and Donald Trump are best friends. They betray everyone because they're greedy pigs. All they care about is money. Money's their biggest value. They could care less about human life. And in fact, they'll terminate anybody's life if they don't kiss their rings. We need to demand that Donald Trump be impeached, you guys. Call John Thune. 202-224 3121 is the Senate switchboard, and ask for John Thune, ask for Barrasso, call Senator Collins. Not only demand that Trump be impeached, but tell them to throw out that piece of junk legislation that the House passed that's gutting Medicaid and about to throw our country into deep poverty. I don't know where these Republicans think they're going to keep getting the money. If they cut America off at the knees and cut off our allies and demean everybody, people aren't going to be giving us their businesses. We're not going to be getting the good deals we've always gotten. It is an outrage that America is now aligning itself with Russia. The American people do not align themselves with Vladimir Putin. It is an outrage. And people need to call Speaker Johnson's office. Now, the House number to call the House is 202-225-3121. The House is 225. The Senate is 224. The suffix is the same. 3121 is the switchboard. So it's 225-202-225-3121 is the House. Ask to speak Mike Johnson, Speaker Johnson. And ask to speak to your own representative, whoever that be also. Call back. You're probably going to have to make 2 calls because you're going to call Speaker Johnson and you'll call your own elected official. And you'll demand that they start 2 things. Impeachment hearings, well, I guess maybe 3 because we need to throw out what's it called, the SAFE Act, the Election SAFE Act, where they want to take away women's rights to vote. It's beyond comprehension. The harm that the Republican Party is doing, that the Democrats are just acting like it's business as usual. It's like incomprehensible. But it's up to us, you guys. March 4th is the day. Today is the 28th. And I am not spending a single dime. And I completely forgot tomorrow is my daughter's birthday, that I had to get her birthday present yesterday. So I'm going to get up early in the morning and go buy her that spider plant in the morning. But in the meantime, don't buy anything today because it's February 28th. We're doing a complete boycott. We really want to make an impact. And show up on March 4th and keep showing up until we throw Doge out of the office, until all those people get arrested. Elon Musk needs to be arrested. Donald Trump needs to be impeached. He is destroying us. He's threatened the world with nuclear war because Zelensky will not cave to him. It's incomprehensible that anybody believes Donald Trump is a decent human being. I just can't. My mind explodes. He's obviously a traitor. Like, the guy has no loyalty to the United States Constitution. He is a despicable, un-American, filthy, selfish, narcissistic jerk who is doing everything he can out of maliciousness to harm Americans. Show up on March 4th. Continue protesting until we get Doge out of our government and until we get the Republicans to start acting like Americans instead of Vladimir Putin's lackeys. It's beyond disgusting. Call your senators and call the House members. The House is 202-225-3121. The Senate is 202-224-3121. It's up to us. And don't let this get to you. Remember, happiness is resistance. Our oppressors want us miserable. It gives them a big thrill to watch us freaking out. So figure out ways to make yourself content and happy here, folks. Because this is literally, we're fighting for freedom. We're on the right side. That's the thing. We're on the right side of it. And guess what? Love is greater than fear. And we will prevail. It's going to happen. We're getting our Constitution back, and we're going to make it stronger when we get rid of the people who have betrayed America. And that's the way it's going to be. So put your courage feet on, you guys. Ciao.